Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and today we're back again with another Danmachi Battle Chronicle video, and we're going to be addressing a key issue with the game, and we're going to be solving that issue in this video. Now, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this one, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmachi Battle Chronicle content, and let me know in the comment section down below, where are you guys watching me from? Even though I have my analytics and I can actually see that some of you guys are watching me from America, some of you guys are watching me from like the Philippines. I want to know if there's any interesting countries out there that you guys are watching me from, be it Antarctica, be it Zambia, I don't know, it can be from any country. I'm very curious to see where you guys are watching me from. Now, Danmachi Battle Chronicle, what is the issue that I'm talking about, and is it a concerning issue? Well, on paper, it doesn't seem like that big of an issue, to be quite honest, right? It isn't that big of an issue because, as you guys may know, Danmachi Battle Chronicle is getting a global release, and this global release includes 80 countries. Now, on paper, 80 countries sounds a decent amount, right? But then there are some key countries that are missing. For example, from what I know, Mexico is missing, Brazil is missing, and of course, countries like the Netherlands and Belgium are also missing because, of course, those latter two regions have banned loot boxes, which means that gacha games are actually not allowed to be distributed on their stores. So as a result, countries like Belgium and the Netherlands cannot play a gacha game like Danmachi Battle Chronicle. So what can you do in that situation, and how can you solve that issue, Gail? You said in the start of the video that you would be able to solve this issue very, very easily. And yes, we will be able to solve this issue very, very easily. And we're going to do it in two different ways. So the first way is, of course, for Android users primarily. This is going to be the easiest way for players to do it. And if you have an emulator as well on your PC, of course, we're still uncertain on the PC release. At this moment in time, we don't know where it is, to be quite honest. Even I'm very, very confused as to where the PC release is. If any of the devs are watching this video, where is it? We need to know where the PC release is. It would be greatly appreciated, right? But of course, if you guys are going to be playing on PC on a BlueStacks emulator or an LD Player emulator or whatever it may be, right? There is a way to obviously do it as well through this Android method. And then, of course, if you're playing on mobile as well, this is the method that you'd ideally use in most situations for any gacha game, not just Battle Chronicle, but any gacha game. So, of course, this is the game right now. I'm actually in it. It just, if you click OK, it just kicks you out. Unfortunately, there was no big data download that I was kind of hoping for. I was hoping that they'd allow us to download at least half of the data or something, right? But it's no data whatsoever. It's just saying that, oh, the server is scheduled to start on this time and this date. Please check the social services or social media services, I should say, not social services. It's social network services, SNS is that's what it means, for more details. And of course, they'll give more details. They said that there will be a notice at launch as well and everything. But right now, this is the screen you come on to in game. Now, if you want to download the game and you are on Android, there are two methods, technically, two similar methods, but two different third-party applications that you need. So the first third-party application is, of course, QO app. So that is QOO app. I will be leaving a link to everything down below in the description so you guys get an idea on where you can find these things and how you can download them. So QO app is basically, like I said, a third-party application. It's a third-party store which is very much reputable and it's very much accessible. A lot of people use it. I used to use it for Danmachi Memoria Freese until I made my US Gmail account, which is an alternative method we'll talk about later on as well. But of course, if you want to just download the game straight up, you don't want to go through the hassle of making a brand new Gmail account or using a VPN and everything and all that jazz. All you need to do is come here and you can download the game. You have to pre-register right now. Of course, it is downloadable on Android Global, so I assume somebody will have to upload the APK onto the website. You can obviously go on to the JP version as well. There is obviously a JP server as well. It seems like we're still uncertain if the servers are together or not. There are two different applications for the global and JP version. So maybe JP is its own version, but the rest of global, KR, Taiwan, Hong Kong, NA, so USA, Canada, UK, all those countries will be playing together most likely. That is also very, very possible, right? Now, if we go back a little bit and if we go back to the main page so that I can, check out the Japanese version, you might be able to download the Japanese version because I know that the Japanese version went up a little bit before we got the English version / the global version live on the Google Play Store. So they might have already uploaded the Japanese version. We're kind of waiting on them to upload it for, obviously, QApp's global version of Danmachi Battle Chronicle. In the meantime, while that is loading because it's taking its own sweet time, let's move over to the second third-party third-party application, which is of course TapTap.io, which is yet another third-party application, third-party store where you can download Danmachi Battle Chronicle from. Again, it is available through pre-registrations right now for this moment in time, but I assume the moment the game launches or a couple of hours before the game launches, both websites should have the game ready to go and ready to be installed, of course. So don't worry on that front. I would highly recommend using one of these two apps if you want to, avoid the hassle of downloading a VPN or, going and using a VPN to create a new Gmail account or anything of that sort. You can come over to these websites and easily access them without any issues whatsoever. All you'll need to do is download this third-party store on your device, which is super easy, and then you can go from there and just simply, download it in minutes. It's not that difficult. Like I said, I used to use it for Danmachi Memoria Freese until I created my US Gmail account, and then from there it was a piece of cake, of course, using just the Google Play Store instead. Now, if you are on iOS, what you need to do is create a brand new iTunes/i Apple ID, basically. I think it's called Apple ID now. It used to be called iTunes accounts, but I think it's Apple ID now. iOS users, you can let me know if I'm right or wrong. I think it's a new Apple ID basically you're creating here. I'm not very good with Apple devices, I'm not gonna lie. I love my Windows and I love my Android. That's what I love the most, okay? But of course, if you're creating a new Apple ID, actually it says it right here, you're creating a second Apple ID. So what you need to do is, first and foremost, you need to sign out of iCloud. To create a new iTunes account, you'll first need to sign out of your current iTunes/iCloud account. Do this by opening settings and tapping iCloud. Scroll to the bottom of the screen where you'll see a button that says sign out. Tap sign out to sign out of your iTunes/iCloud account, and then they go on to talk about how your photo streamed photos, documents, and data stored in iCloud will be removed from your iPhone. So keep that in mind. Be very cautious when you're doing this step. Of course, I know a lot of people may want to keep these photos, documents, and data on their phone. Some people don't necessarily mind it, but most people will, right? So you want to do that first and foremost, and then what you do is go to settings once again, go to iCloud, and then create a new Apple ID. From there, if we go all the way to the bottom, you can see that they'll say that you'll need to enter a birth date, a name, an email address. Obviously, you'll need to use a different email address, so create a burner email or something like that. Or if you have an email that you use exclusively for games and stuff, you can use that email instead, right? You can use that email instead, and then you can choose a password and yada yada yada. You'll have to verify your account, of course. They'll send an email to your second email, of course, right? And then you choose the country on your new iTunes/iCloud account. So you go to the App Store, tap featured, and then go into sign in, and then there will be a pop-up saying that you haven't used this Apple ID on the iTunes Store. You'll have to review. There will be some terms and conditions that you'll have to go into. Next, Apple will ask for your billing info, and you will need to input a billing address and a phone number that matches the country you choose, but you do not need to add a credit card at this time. So what I recommend, and what a lot of people end up doing, is just using any address. So they use an address for like a random street or like a random location, basically. Like some people use a government building, a bank, or a hotel. And you will be able to download paid apps without a credit card. So basically, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to download paid apps, but free apps are absolutely fine. And Danmachi Battle Chronicle is a free app, so that's absolutely fine. You do not have to worry about that whatsoever. So in all honesty, this should not be very difficult whatsoever. And let me just check this Chronicle. There we go. Let me go to the Japanese version. So yeah, basically for even the Apple ID stuff, it's not that difficult. In all honesty, I think a lot of people should be able to do this very easily. And in all honesty, it should be seconds. Now, the country that I would recommend and the easiest country to go for is probably the US. In all honesty, I think that'll be the easiest one to shift towards, basically, because there's a lot of locations, phone numbers are easy to like replicate and stuff like that. And then all you need, and most games will be accessible there, including Danmachi Battle Chronicle. So I would recommend, if you're looking into creating a new Apple ID, go for the US. And even in the case of Danmachi Battle Chronicle, right? Say, for example, you do not want to download it from QO app or TapTap, yeah, right? You want to just download it through the Google Play Store as its own. And there's a reason why you might want to do that as well. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But basically, all you need to do here in this situation, if you have an Android device, right, is on your laptop or your PC or whatever it may be, even on your phone, I would recommend downloading a VPN, connecting to the US servers, and then you'll have to create a brand new Gmail account. But however, you will have to sign out of all your other email accounts if you have any, Or alternatively, if you have a burner account, you can change your country, but you wouldn't have made a purchase or anything of that sort beforehand. You can only do it once every year, basically. So you'll have to be very careful on that front if you really want to change the, address and the location and the country of your Gmail account. So be very patient and cautious when you do that as well. So you can change the country if you do have a VPN and you manage to convert it to the US. Or alternatively, you do a VPN, you sign out of all your accounts and everything, and then you go into that process of basically creating a brand new account in that country, basically, which is a little bit tricky. I will say this, it's a little bit tricky, but it is something that you can do. And what that gives you an advantage in, and this is if you are a spending player, is that you can actually make purchases if you are part of that country and you have an email linked to that country. Because one of the issues with Google, what they've done is they followed Apple's footsteps a little bit in this situation, basically, wherein they've effectively, what they did was they decided to lock it off to the point where if you aren't in that country and the game is not available in your country technically, right, the country that you're located in, or the country that your Gmail is linked to. So say, for example, I live in the Netherlands, but my email is connected to the Netherlands, but I downloaded this game from QApp. This is, of course, Danmachi Battle Chronicle, and I'm playing it off a US server, technically, let's say, or the global server, but my country isn't part of that global server. The game will not allow me to make a purchase whatsoever. This is something that they've applied to various different gacha games. It affected people on FGO, it affected people on Danmimo, and it affected people on many other gacha games as well. So what I would recommend is, if you are wanting to spend on the game and you're willing to spend on the game, of course, responsibly, remember that, you can basically create a new Gmail account and everything, and then download Battle Chronicle through that Gmail account that you've created. You can't have a pre-existing Danmachi Battle Chronicle, by the way. You will have to create it specifically for that new Gmail account. So there you have it. There are 3 different ways you can download this game, basically. One being QApp or TapTap. These are your best ways and the easiest ways you can download this game on an Android device or an emulator. The second way is, of course, if you're on iOS, then you have to create a second Apple ID, basically. And then finally, if you are wanting to spend on a Google on your Android device and you want to download the game through the Google Play Store, you will have to create a brand new Gmail account and you will have to use a VPN for it. Okay, so there you guys have it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. I will try and address them to the best of my capabilities, and don't worry about trying to access these links. I will be leaving links to the websites and everything down below in the description, and I will also have one for the Google Play Store one, so you guys get an idea on how to do the Google Play Store one without having to listen to me try and guide you in some way, shape, or form. All right, so don't worry about that. There will be all 4 links in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.